the soldiers who have fought for this land. They fought for this land, and we just trashed this land.
I'm Canadian, and I'm happy to be here.
I love Canada.
It's paradise. I'm proud to be Canadian.
Canada Day long weekend is upon us, and we've heard for years now from politicians and the media about all the things we should feel bad about because we are Canadian, all the things that people in our country over hundreds of years ago did that we have to all feel collective shame for. I'm not quite sure if Canadians today or if newcomers here feel that way, but the media would certainly have us believe that's the case. We've come to Square One Mall in Mississauga, not the place where you'll find your typical multi-generational Canadians, a very racially diverse place, a very ethnically diverse place. And we're here to ask people if they plan to celebrate Canada Day, if they feel proud to be living in this great country of ours, and why they think Canada is a great country. Let's try to have some positivity on the show for once. It's tough these days to feel great about being a Canadian, but we're going to see if other people share that same sense of national pride that we do. Let's see what people have to say. We're asking people if they think Canada is a country we're celebrating and being proud to live in. What do you think?
Yes, I think so. I love Canada. I'm proud to be Canadian.
What do you think about people who say that we should feel sorry about the country and things that happened 50 to 100 years ago, and that we shouldn't be celebrating Canada Day because of things that really none of us had anything to do with?
I think it's hard. Like, everything's become really political. Like, I do believe in acknowledging those past and things that have affected them too. But I don't think it should necessarily hinder us celebrating us just, kind of like saying our I love you to our country. Like, it's still done a lot of great things for us.
Right.
Yeah.
And what do you think makes Canada such a great country to live in?
The people, healthcare, it's clean.
What do you think?
Oh, it's great. I love it.
What do you say to people who feel like we should be ashamed to be Canadian? What do you say to people who feel like we should be ashamed about our past and our history?
No. It's great history. We should be proud of it.
I agree with you.
Every bit of it.
And what do you think makes Canada such a great country to live in?
Because it welcomes everybody. It's the place. It's, what can I say, right? It's paradise.
I think we should celebrate it. I mean, I came to Canada in 1988. It was a great country. I still love it. I'm very patriotic. And unfortunately, the last few years, it's kind of somewhat changed and went on a downhill. But I still think we should celebrate it. I mean, we're Canadian. We should.
Right. And over the past few years, we've seen calls from people who want to almost make us feel bad about being Canadian and want to make us feel like we should feel sorry about things that happened 50, even 100 years ago, and that should kind of quiet down the celebrations of Canada Day. What do you think about those calls from people saying that, hey, this is a place that we shouldn't feel proud to live in and a lot went wrong in this country?
Well, that was 100 years ago, and none of us were alive back then, and we're not gonna downtone the celebration of our country just because some people are a little soft about that stuff. So, no, if you don't want to celebrate it, don't celebrate it. Well, we're not pushing it on you, but the people that are Canadian and want to celebrate it, celebrate it. I don't see why we should downplay it.
Last question I have for you is, what makes Canada a great place to live in?
Everyone says it. Everyone has the freedom. We can all sit here and, argue about, there's this, there's that. No, there's freedom. The thing is, I think now more people are kind of pushing their agenda. But it's like, no, look, Canada's the kind of place where you're allowed to do whatever you kind of want within its laws. But at the same time, don't push your agendas on people. Celebrate it. Like, I'm Filipino, and I'm still, very in touch with my heritage and my Filipino culture, but it's within my house. When I'm outside my house, when I'm in Canadian land, this is Canada. I've pretty much prospered here and grew up here. So I always say I'm Canadian, and it's always been good that way. I'm happy to be here.
We're asking people if they think Canada is a country worth celebrating and being proud to live in.
Both to the max.
What do you think about people who say that we should feel sorry for ourselves about things that happened 50 to 100 years ago and we shouldn't be celebrating Canada Day? Do you think that there's any...
Who's saying that? Because we've helped every other country on the planet. So it doesn't make sense that that person should be
thrown out of his job. I'm proud to be Canadian.
You think that Canada is a country worth celebrating and being proud to live in?
I don't know. I just came here last month. That's
You
all.
just came here?
Yeah.
All right, well, welcome to the country.
Yeah.
Are you going to be celebrating Canada Day on Monday?
No, we will actually plan family day at the home, and we will meet all friends at home, and we will enjoy.
Okay, but you won't be celebrating Canada Day? You won't be waving the Canadian flag?
No, actually, I don't know about too much about the Canada Day, why they're celebrating. That's why I will try to understand what they are celebrating, and then I will.
All right. It
yeah.
is the day that Confederation started. It's the day that Canada became a country.
Oh, yeah.
So it's an important
Yeah,
day here.
it's an important day, and every country has this significant in their nation. So I will obviously celebrate this because I will part of the country right now. So I will celebrate obviously.
We're doing a video about Canada Day long weekend, and we're asking people if they think Canada is a country worth celebrating and being proud to live in. What do you think?
Yes. I think we should look at the past as like something that we should move forward from, not that we should like dwell upon and be so sad about, but like that we're moving forward as like a loving nation and a symbol of freedom for all. So
But what do you guys think? Do you think Canada is a country that is worth celebrating and being proud to live in?
That's a good question. Hold on. Honestly, there's some things that we need to remember, but Canada as itself has built, it's built up its reputation over its past 150 years. So even though there are Indigenous people in the past that have been wronged, there's still like a bunch of accomplishments that Canada has made itself. So they should still be recognized, but Canada should still be separated in its own way.
And what do you guys think makes Canada a great place to live in?
The people.
Yeah, it's a very diverse country. I feel like wherever you go, especially in Square One, there's like so many people from like your home country. So many people you just know you, so you almost feel like you're at home, especially when you're an immigrant, you know?
What would be your answer to those that say, you know what, Canada Day is not something that we should be celebrating. It should be some sort of, somber moment of reflection, because there are people out there that are genuinely unpatriotic of this country. What would your answer be to them?
I mean, they have their own opinion, like they must feel like they've been wronged. And, there are days of remembrance and reconciliation for those people, but at the same time, there should be a recognition and reconciliation for Canada as a whole, as it's a mighty country and it deserves its own recognition.
A lot of people recently have been saying that we should be ashamed to be Canadian. It's a country that, we have to feel bad about our past. But I don't know if that's how everybody feels, and I'm asking people if they think Canada is a country worth celebrating and being proud to live in.
Well, yes, absolutely. I'm Canadian, so I celebrate Canada Day every year. And the greatest thing or the good thing about it is that everybody comes out, and it's diversity, multiculturalism, the fireworks, and all the entertainment performances on stage. So it's good to kind of come out and look and see what's happening and what performers and artists are out there, right?
And what do you think makes Canada such a great place to live in, such a great country?
Democracy, the power and the movement of their political views and opinions.
You know what? I think Canada in the past might have been celebrated too, but I think we need that Canada pride back. We should get our country back, because people who are just moving here don't really care about the country. They can trash the country and leave. But while the Canadians who are born here, all the soldiers who have fought for this land, they fought for this land, and people just trash this land. I think we have to do something back, man.
That's a great answer.
Yeah,
it's a great answer. And what do you say to people who say that we should be ashamed of our country and that Canada Day is supposed to be a somber day of reflection for things that none of us had anything to do with? What do you say to people who try to push that narrative?
Well, the thing is, it's not our fault, right? It's we all make mistakes, but we also have to realize that because there are people who fought for us, there are people who, put the country where it is, the people who gave us the freedom we have today. Though I'm an immigrant, there's soldiers who have fought for us. If Nazi Germany were to take over Canada, I don't think it will be this free as well. I don't think you will be interviewing me about.
That's right, probably not.
Yeah, you will be
Maybe in a different language.
Yeah, and then you will probably kill if they will kill the Jews, kill the race. They will be very racist and stuff. Yeah.
And so the last question I have for you is, what do you think makes Canada such a great country to live in?
Well, Canada's, I think, if you want to go through politics, but I think Canada used to be great, because the prices, food prices going out. Food prices, of course, is so high. But back in the day, it was so, food prices are low.
Right.
Freedom, especially freedom of speech. People move here because of freedom of speech. Especially if you live in a communism country, if you speak against the government, they chop your head off.
Right.
But right now here, you can speak against the government. Like I see people like making agendas about, the government is bad. Residential school is bad. Like in this country, you can at least talk about that. And if you go to China and talk bad about the government, you're not gonna see them again. Yeah, okay, goodbye.
So you're going to celebrate on Monday? You're going to celebrate Canada Day?
Yeah, I hope to see the fireworks and stuff, man.
You're going to celebrate Canada Day this weekend?
Probably.
What are you going to do?
Check out whatever my village square is doing over in Streetsville.
What do you think makes Canada a great country?
How much welcoming we are to people and the maltiness of it.
Canada is a country that is worth celebrating and being proud to live in. What do you think about that?
Yes, I do, because I came here, so I'm making the best of it.
What do you say to people who feel like we should be ashamed of our past and not celebrate our country?
That's their opinion, not mine.
Not yours?
The country has changed a bit. I feel like it's become more modern, more whatever the woke stuff is, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to obviously show.
No, I agree with you there.
No, so
That's for sure.
at some points it feels like a little overboard, right?
Oh, certainly. And one of those examples of this woke push in our country is to make us feel bad about being Canadian, right? It's to make us feel like we should be ashamed of things that happened that we have nothing to do with. What is your response to people who say that this is a place where we should, Canada Day is a day we should have a somber day of reflection? What do you guys think about that?
No, it's the day you celebrate your country, right?
Every country has that, and why can't Canada have it? Because Canadians have the typical stereotype of being nice, overly nice and stuff like that.
Sorry for everything.
Yeah.
We should be allowed to celebrate. We should be allowed to celebrate some stuff. We shouldn't. Okay, every country has done something wrong. We agree that we've done something to reconcile with that. We've tried to make efforts, but at a certain point, we shouldn't keep having to do that. Well, we still should acknowledge that, but we should still be able to celebrate some things.
Absolutely. And what do you guys think makes Canada such a great country?
Well, the place itself is good, as you can see here. All this stuff. I was born in this country. I lived here for all my life. Didn't go to any country because it's a beautiful place.
But when you just know it, nobody that we spoke to in Mississauga is ashamed to be a Canadian. No one is ashamed of our country. Despite what activists or people in the media might tell us this weekend about all the things that were done in the past, no one actually feels that way. It feels like the only people who genuinely think this country is not worth celebrating are fringe, left-wing activists. Everyone else just thinks that this is a great country to live in. Yeah, we have our problems. Sure, things aren't perfect. But all things considered, this is still, in my opinion, the best country in the world. Canada Day is a day to be proud of our past, proud of our heritage, proud of our culture. It is unique. It is something to be cherished and celebrated. And most importantly, it is worth preserving, not whitewashing, not erasing, and not destroying, not tearing down our statues. It's a culture that is so important and one that we should all feel proud to be a part of. Signing off from Mississauga, Harrison Faulkner.